my dazzling Toastmaster, Kamini Sharma, my fascinating Toastmaster, DTM Kumar, my energetic Toastmaster, Hi Devi, and of course, my scintillating Toastmaster, President of our club, Nazneen, and my Vinu Karthik, Joseph Sir, Vinit Singh, welcome you all to a unique meeting, linkers meeting between Rising Toastmasters Club and Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. It's great to be back after the month of May when we had the similar meeting. Welcome you all. I'm Milan Kurakkar. Welcome you as a Sergeant of Arms for this fascinating meeting. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. Toastmasters have helped people from diverse backgrounds to become more confident communicators and leaders. I request you all to uphold the cardinal principle of every Toastmasters meeting. Keep your mobile phone muted at all times. And I give you 5 seconds for that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, of course, or if you're on a laptop, make sure your audio is muted at all times unless you're invited to speak. And keep your video on at all times unless you're moving in and out of the room. As an encouragement to every role takers and speakers, make sure to applaud them virtually. Role takers and speakers will consciously use their utmost discretion while expressing their views on sex, politics, and religion to ensure that the sentiment of audience is not hurt. And now it's time for me to welcome our club president. She's an entrepreneur, a person with dynamic energy, and she has joined Toastmasters only a couple of years back with her sincerity and dedication. She has done fantastic job for every Toastmasters club where she has gone and made sure that Toastmaster club outshines in the district. And it's our pleasure to have her here as our president too. And she's also a Toastmasters member in first Toastmaster club of the entire world, Toastmaster Club 1 in California. So please join me in welcoming the club president, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Greetings to one and all. Thank you for those benevolent, kind words, Milan sir. I call to order meeting number 732 for Speech Weavers, and yes, with your permission, Madam President of Rising Speakers, Kamini Sharma, can I call to order meeting number 157?
Yes, absolutely.
So I call to order meeting 157 for Rising Speakers. The minutes of the meeting of 731 were posted on the WhatsApp group. Are there any amendments? Members, if there are no amendments, you can give me a thumbs up sign. Yes? They're fine? I pass the meetings, I pass the minutes of the meeting of meeting number 731 as passed. Now, semicolon. What's a semicolon? It is a symbol of commonly joining two communities or two independent clauses together. The linkers meet between Speech Weavers Club and the Rising Speakers Club is a testimony that how closely our thoughts resonate, restate, and also when we reiterate, we do it in our style. And what is our style? That is amazing, astounding, and astonishing style. I take this opportunity today on this social platform, being a proud Indian, on August 23rd, India's space agency ISRO successfully landed its Chandrayaan-3 mission's lander module on moon's surface. This is a big achievement because only a few countries like the US, the USSR, China have done this. And now it is us. Chandrayaan-3's success is a victory of Indian innovation, human capital, and the capabilities that will take India future. On that note, on that positive note, that yes, we have arrived and we will be there and leave footprints in the sands of time, definitely for sure. Be it in Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters. I would like to introduce a person who is dynamic, diligent, and demoness personified. She is a soft skills trainer and also a Toastmaster for 2 years, the president of Rising Speakers Club, and also the MC for today. Toastmaster Kamini Sharma, the virtual stage is all yours. Can we have a big round of applause, please? You can unmute and you can have her on the stage.
Thank you so much, Madam President, Toastmaster Nazneen from Speech Weavers Club, the club that we are meeting as linkers today. This was such a warm welcome and one of its kind for sure. So I would like to begin with an apology. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but my bandwidth is giving me trouble. So my sincere apologies, everyone in the meeting room today. It's been raining heavily since yesterday here, and therefore the internet is not cooperating. However, if I can sneak in between, I will definitely do that. Now, with the apology in place, I would also like to reiterate and have everyone unmute and clap the loudest that you can for the mission that has put India as the #1 country to put its foot on the south pole of moon. Yes, in the world, globally, India is the first country to land on moon on 23rd August. This date has surely gone down in history. And I think for each one of us as Indians, it is a celebratory and a proud moment. So let's just clap for the team ISRO and for the spirit of being the Indian, which is, I think it was all over the news that failure is what sets you for your next victory. And ISRO is a living example for that. Similarly to this, let's have an applaud first, then we'll talk about the theme. So let's just have an applaud. Everyone, please, let's unmute and have an applaud. Thank you. So semicolon. Let's rewind and get back a few years or maybe decades for some of us in the room and go into the classroom of English grammar, where semicolon was introduced to us as a punctuation. Now, this is our exposure to semicolon. I think we all stand on the same page when I say this, that for a long number of years, or maybe up until now, this moment, the only thing that we know about semicolon is that it is one of the punctuation marks that we use in our writing. Is there anything else that anyone knows about semicolon? please feel free to unmute and respond. Anything that you know apart from semicolon being a punctuation mark? No? Okay. Has any one of you ever heard of project semicolon? See, I was right.
Today we
Because
are
just like you,
hearing
even I did not have the knowledge of semicolon standing as something which is so vital to us as human beings, apart from just being a punctuation, up until I went on discovering it. So my discovery with semicolon was in 2013, month of November. I was traveling to school, and at that point, I was in Dehradun. So I was teaching in an international boarding school, and I was traveling to school in a bus where a co-teacher had semicolon as a tattoo on her hand, precisely on her wrist. And that got me intrigued. I asked her, "What is this semicolon?" And that's when I got to know that semicolon is a project which was initiated by Amy Bluell, who was a college student, and he was inspired by the death of her father to suicide. And apart from suicide of her father, she was also long standing in depression. And this is where she got inspired to create a non-profit organization which talks about hope, love, and continuation of life. However, most importantly, it talks about resilience. The tagline of Project Semicolon is "Your story is not over." May I please share my screen for all of you to have a look at this, which I found on Wikipedia. Just have a look at this. Just a moment. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes.
I hope you all can see this, a semicolon as a tattoo.
Yes.
Can you all see this?
Yes.
Thank you, Adarsh, for confirming. So it was in 2013 when this particular NGO, which is in America, started advocating that we should have semicolon as a tattoo on our body. And why should we have this? Because they wanted to stand in solidarity, like in support of all those people who are struggling with suicide, who are struggling with depression, who are struggling with addiction of any kind, and on and off get into self-injury. So this was a project which came into surface in 2013. And I'm going to talk a little more about this project. But for now, let me just remind everyone in the room that a Toastmaster meeting is typically divided into three sections. The three sections of a Toastmaster meeting are: the one is prepared speeches. And since it's a linker meeting today between the two clubs of Division B, which is Rising Speakers Toastmasters Club and Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, so here the speakers will be from either clubs, from both the clubs. And the second section will be the table topic section. The last one, which I always believe is the foundation of our learning, and that is the evaluation section. So these are the three sections. And also this year is 2023. Next year will be 2024. We will be completing a century of Toastmaster as a movement which came into place with the vision of Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. And it began in 1924 with one club, and today it's grown not only in size, but it's also grown in recognition across the globe. So on this note, I would like to bring in virtually and request the general evaluator, Toastmaster Mayur, to kindly take on from here and let us know what is his role in the meeting today, and also if he can introduce his members, supporting members of the tag team. Toastmaster Mayur, it's over to you. Thank you.
Is Mayur there?
I don't think Mayur is here. I don't think Mayur is in attendance right now. If you want me to quickly check with him, then I can check with him. I'll quickly check with Mayur in that case, but meanwhile, I think it's okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Adarsh, for checking up with Mayur. In the meantime, let me ask all of you today. These are words like resilience, hope, love. What do they mean to you? And the theme that we have today is semicolon. I've given you the background. I've talked about project semicolon. And I'm sure it's not just about Amy Bluewell, a college student who started this project, but it's about you, it's about me, because life in general with everyone gets hard at some point or the other. I would love to hear one person, any one person, to talk about their hard moment when they thought, I can't go beyond this, but then they actually did. So, anyone, if you would like to share.
Hi, Kamini. This is Haindavi.
Hi, Haindavi, please go ahead.
Hello. See, was soon after I completed my graduation, right? So I attended one. So in campus interviews, I attended one college, but in the group discussion, right? So I couldn't clear my group discussion, and few of my friends got placed in electric companies, and the college was over. So I thought maybe I couldn't get into my dream, but some days I recollected myself. I worked hard and I joined CDAC and completed my PG diploma in embedded system designing, and then got placed in core company. So this way I have overcome my hard moment.
Thank you, Haindri. Thank you for sharing that moment when you thought that it's difficult, but then the difficulty you moved that difficulty into something that you conquered with your resilience. So thank you for sharing that. Others, do we have the general evaluator in meeting?
Not exactly, but Toastmaster Arijit will be our general evaluator for the.
Okay, lovely. So, Toastmaster Arijit, for everyone here in the meeting, a little bit of background about Toastmaster Oryojit. Toastmaster Oryojit, apart from being a wonderful person, he's a Toastmaster who's, in the true sense, passionate about helping other Toastmasters and people, if I can say, in general. So I think it's wonderful to have him as the general evaluator today, because the kind of knack that he has for precision is something that we will witness today in the third section of the meeting. So without wasting any further time, I would like to invite our general evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Oryojit. Toastmaster Oryojit, please your role as the general evaluator, and also help us know the members in your tag team. Thank you. It's over to you.
Thank you. Even I have to know, even I have to determine who are the members of the tag team. But nonetheless, it will not take much time. And I know one person who's part of the tag team, and that is the grammarian for today's meeting. That role has been given to a not so wonderful person, not to a person who is not very helpful, and that is Toastmaster Arijit. So so I am taking this dual role of being the general evaluator and the grammarian for today's meeting, and it is my role and responsibility as the grammarian to make a report of good usage of English. If the speakers make some good expression during the course of the meeting, so I have to take note of that. And if there are not so great usage of English, I would offer some corrected instances of the same. Also, part of my role and responsibility is to introduce you with the word of the day, which is also a punctuation mark, which is known as bracket. So, bracket is technically a punctuation mark, but it can also be used as a verb, which means to place or enclose things in the same category or group. So I will be sharing the word of the day in the chat a little later. So the word of the day is bracket. I repeat, to place in the same category or group. It could be people or things. So today, for example, I today we have bracketed the two most friendliest club of District 92 in today's meeting. So that is one example, not the most elegant use of the word, but yes. Okay. And now we will be going ahead and okay, I will introduce you to the timer of today's meeting. And the timer of today's meeting, I've personally known, is a very handsome gentleman. He is always on time. Uh, when compared to the general evaluator who was supposed to be the general evaluator. But yeah, a very handsome gentleman, and I believe he's very regular in taking roles in his club meetings, and he likes to speak his mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay or doubt, with a warm round of applause, do welcome Toastmaster Vinu Karthik as the timer for today's meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the nice introduction. So, as a timer, my role is to keep track of the time taken by each speaker and to ensure the meeting goes as per schedule, and to help you to maintain the timelines. I will be flashing my virtual background with the following lights. So, I will use green light when the speaker reaches the minimum amount of time given to him, and in my virtual background I will flash yellow light when the speaker reaches intermediate time, and my virtual background will flash the red card when the speaker reaches the maximum amount of time. So there will be 30 seconds grace time will be given to each speaker, so they need to finish their speech within the timelines, otherwise they will be disqualified. And also for the table topic speeches, 1 to 2 minutes of time will be given. So minimum qualification time will be 1 minute and maximum qualification time will be 2 minutes. So I will be flashing the green card when the table topics speaker reaches the minimum qualification time, that is 1 minute. When the table topic speaker reaches 1 minute 30 seconds, that is intermediate time, I will flash the yellow card in my virtual background. Once he reaches the 2 minutes, I will flash the yellow card. So even for a table topic speaker, 30 seconds of additional time will be given. So he should complete his table topic speech within that timelines. Otherwise, he will be disqualified. So I would request our Zoom master to spotlight me when I will be flashing my virtual background. So at the end, I will be providing my report to the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinu, for reading out your role and responsibility. Next, for the accountan's role, we have Toastmaster Richard. Toastmaster Richard, sir, can you please read out your role and responsibility as the accountant for today's meeting? I believe he is not here at the moment. There was some person as Toastmaster Richa. I don't know, so I was a little confused whether Richa and Richard are the same person. But I would request someone to take the responsibility of the accountant, which is an important part.
Yeah, maybe I can volunteer for that, Nazneen.
Hi, yes, Toastmaster Chandra. Yeah, everyone is over the moon, and we have someone who is named the moon. Toastmaster Chandra, can you take the role of? We are delighted to have you as the accountant for today's meeting. So, could you read out the your role and responsibility as the accountant?
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjit. Hi, everyone. So as a counter, I just expressed, say, one of the unpleasant sound. That is to introduce you that what we should not be using while we are talking on the stage. So as for the benefit of guests who are joining for the first time, we have a role called counter, which will be calculating what are the non-pleasant usages that we have part of our speech. Whoever is coming on stage today, I'll be counting what are the unpleasant usages that happen. It can be and so, or not only that, say if we have any repetitive words as well, I'll be helping the speakers to understand, say, what is their usage, and it will help us as a Toastmasters to enhance our speech and make us as a better speakers. With that, I'll hand over to Toastmaster Arjit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandra, for not only for reading out your role and responsibility as the accountant for today's meeting, but also taking it at the last moment and ensuring a smooth meeting, which is also the purpose of the theme of the day, which is semicolon. And the punctuation mostly I associate myself as the exclamation mark, but also in our daily life, almost in everyone's life, the use of semicolon is quite important after a pause, resuming ourselves to be a better person. So, on that note, I would again hand over the screen and time and stage to Toastmaster Kamini for this wonderful theme. Over to you, Toastmaster Kamini.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Oryojit. Toastmasters and guests in the meeting today, did we just witness semicolon in action? Absolutely, we did. No doubt about it. People could have taken a call to let go the role of general evaluator. People could have taken a call to let go the role of our counter, but they didn't. And Toastmaster Oryojit took up dual role. We had Toastmaster Chandra pitching in as our counter. This exactly is semicolon, when you could have chose to end, but you decided not to and go further. So thank you so much for brilliantly displaying the theme semicolon. I think I was only talking this while, but thank you, Oryojit, thank you, Chandra, for putting it into place, into action. On this note, I would love to introduce the first speaker, but before doing that, I would like to call upon the evaluator of speaker one. Now, the evaluator is distinguished Toastmaster Hruday Ranjan Mohanty. Distinguished Toastmaster Hruday Ranjan Mohanty is from Rising Speakers Toastmasters Club. And he's a person, if you know him, he's always ready to help. He has the warmest of the smile. He's a person who likes to coordinate around with people and help them achieve what they want to. We are truly blessed to have him in Rising Speakers, because at every point, he's been a pillar of strength and support. And he is that person who chose to put a semicolon in March to Rising Speaker as a club, because in April, we were set to have another chapter, another beginning for for rising speakers. So instead of putting a full stop, he was the first man to put a semicolon and say that why to end? Why not look out for ways to restart? So thank you for that initiative, DTM Hriday. And now I would request you to please introduce to us the project objectives of your target speaker, Toastmaster Hindvi. It's over to you virtually, DTM Hriday. Thank you.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmaster. I think this is a semicolon once again. I have to evaluate others, right, Nazir?
No, sir.
Okay.
You'll be evaluating Hindvi. She's giving her level 1 project for speech.
No, I have mentors.
can't-
Nandini.
It's actually vice versa.
Oh,
He
my
evaluates the other club.
apologies. My apologies. Then my apologies. My sincere
Yes.
apologies.
Not
Right? Let's begin again. Then I'll have to invite distinguished Toastmaster Milan to evaluate target speaker Toastmaster Hindvi. Distinguished Toastmaster Milan, we've all seen him in action as Sergeant at Arms. The crackle in his voice. He's famous to be known as the person, as the Toastmaster who gives you beautiful adjectives, and these adjectives make you feel cheerful about yourself. So thank you for doing that every time and doing it promptly, distinguished Toastmaster Milan. You're a seasoned Toastmaster, and it's always a pleasure to witness you speak either in speeches or any other role that you take up. May I now request you to please let us know the project details of your target speaker, Hindvi.
Okay, now I'm in a soup today because I have the evaluation sheet of speaker number 1. So I'm a bit confused and I don't have Hindvi's evaluation sheet with me. So if Hindvi, if you can forward it to me or if it's okay with you, can you just read out the thing? Sorry for that. My apology for that.
Okay, I'll do it. I have the details. Let me step in.
Mine is project 4 in level 1.
So DTM Milan, the Hindvi is attempting her project 4 from the path presentation mastery, and this is level 1. The idea, the objective of this project is to deliver a speech on a well-researched topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We are displaying semicolon in every bit of the meeting today. Thank you for each one's spirit. And now to introduce the speaker, Toastmaster Hindvi. Toastmaster Hindvi is a mother of 2 wonderful girls, and she is a perfect example of a woman who can take charge of her family as well as work. She's a new Toastmaster. She's just 4 months old in the Toastmaster. She's a 4-month-old Toastmaster, but the spirit with which she's moving forward, that's truly commendable. And today she's coming. She's coming. She's here to present her speech from level 1. Toastmaster Hindvi, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Toastmaster Hindvi. Timer, please note the speech is for 5 to 7 minutes.
Bill Gates. So am I audible, right?
Yes.
Bill Gates said that he believes artificial intelligence is the most revolutionary technology he has seen over decades, on par with computers, cell phones, and internet. The term artificial intelligence named Dartmouth in 1950, where John McGrath, Nathaniel Rochester, and Shannon were the researchers who significantly gave their efforts in shaping the early artificial intelligence foundation. Even though it started back in 1956, slowly it contributed to the technology, and in 2000 In this
Kindly, one thing,
21st,
kindly, is it okay if you remove this?
yes, yes,
A lot of disturbance is happening. A lot of background and a lot of interruption is there. So if you can just, if you remove it, how is the thing? Can you just
sure,
try? Can you just remove it?
sure, sure.
Let's try it. If it's not there, we will go back to that. Okay. Others are all muted. Am I sure? There's a lot of sound is coming at my end. Oh, good. Others are muted. Yeah. And you can try now.
Just give me. Is this enough?
Yeah, better. Yeah, please go. Yeah, you can start from the beginning. Okay. From the quote which you started.
Just a moment. Timer,
I
please,
think
can
she
you
can
restart the
start
time?
from the beginning, right?
Yeah, timer, can please start it. Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Henry, you can
So,
start all over again. Yeah.
so from the 1956 till this 21st century, the artificial intelligence technology has evolved so much. And so AI means to learn and think, to perform the task which these tasks such as understand the human language or understanding the voices, recognizing the faces, playing games and making decisions and much more. The first time we have majorly used artificial intelligence in virtual level. Apple introduced virtual assistants named Siri, which is used the AI technology. And later, in 2014, Amazon has introduced cloud-based virtual assistant service, which uses the AI technology. The name is Alexa. And furthermore, in 2016, Google has released its used by AI. All these virtual assistants will answer the question of humans and they can play music, reminders, and they can even communicate with the humans. The major competitors in the artificial intelligence are Google, Microsoft. Along with there are new stock has significantly given the and released the Chat GPT, which is a text-based search AI internally. And there is a slide bean startup which can provide full visualized PPTs. And there is a UT that is a personalized speech coach, AI coach, where we can improve our communication skills. And the list AI, so the AI, what, so this we most of us used to get the one question using AI. So what is your take on yes, shortcuts or no? Yes, AI can automate the routine and repetitive tasks, which can improve the productivity and efficiency in certain. However, these can also lead to job discrepancies in those industries where all these routine tasks were performed by humans. According to a research, over 75 million jobs will be laid off because of the AI and automation. But there is a good thing that over 133 million jobs also can be created because of this AI and automation in the areas like AI science. Not only creating the jobs in these tech, but AI also contributing in the healthcare industry also, where it will be patient and to research about the complex drug discoveries. The overall healthcare industry revenue can expected increase to 3 billion in 2025. The time in 2020 it was like 40 billion. In it increased to 199 billion. So we are having multiple AI tools. One is ChatGPT. You need the information in the text if you type, so it will give the information. And so even if we see Google Photos also is using the we can recognize the faces and all the respective person faces pics will be uh, given in a specific folder. And further there is a Udly, as we already discussed. It is a great tool to improve our communication skills. The AI is giving different uh, in when we given a speech. And guest, with my life experience, I would like to tell you that now be your competitor, then you should work with them for our productivity. So this formula is applied by the Google on acquiring the YouTube, and similarly Facebook on acquiring the WhatsApp for their survival. Similarly, we all use different AI tools and technology, and try to apply those technologies in our daily life and wherever it possible. It will definitely increase. It can reduce our efforts and our working hours, and we can also get the benefits of AI. Think about it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hindui, for letting us know about artificial intelligence and for presenting your speech in a researched manner, like how the project was. Thank you so much. Let's have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Hindui. Thank you, everyone. And now it is the time to bring in our second evaluator, second speaker. Second speaker will be from the club Speech Weavers. But before I introduce second speaker, I would like to call upon his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Hruday Ranjan Mohanty. Sir, if you can check your WhatsApp, you have the evaluation resource and the speech details of your target speaker. May I please request you to read out the objectives of the project that the target speaker is attempting today. Thank you. It's over to you, DTM Hruday.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster family. A very good evening, fellow Toastmaster. The second speaker of the day is going to deliver a speech which says, "Know your sense of humor." And the purpose of the statement says is the project to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and present a speech that includes humor. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to others. Over to you, Kamini. Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Hriday. With your warm smile, I am sure your target speaker is all pepped up and in charge to deliver his speech. Okay, so to talk about Toastmaster Adarsh is one of the wittiest young boy that I've known in a while. And when I say young, that's just the chronological number which credits him being young. Otherwise, he is a person who can be mature when you want him to be. And he's also a leader in his own company. So at this young age, he's doing wonderful things professionally and personally. I've had the fortune of knowing him since 2 years now. He's a man who can step in anytime, even midnight or early morning hours, to help the ones that he's closely associated and connected with. And thank you so much, Adarsh, for all the times that you've been a helping hand to me and to my club. So it's absolutely a pleasure to introduce you today. And Toastmaster Adarsh will be giving us a speech. Oh no, I am late. Oh no, I am late. Toastmaster Adarsh.
Thank you very much for that, Toastmaster Kamini. I have to acknowledge that introduction of yours. It was so well put, and I feel so undeserved to get such an introduction. But you've been equally as amazing to me and all of us back at Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. So it's an incredible pleasure to have you. So I'll quickly start with my speech if I'm not taking too much of time. Oh no, I'm late. This is something that all of us sort of experience at some point of time in our lives. Or I would say it's pretty much an everyday scenario, isn't it? From the time you wake up in the morning, maybe to the time when you're supposed to attend a client's meeting. Oh, wait, attending a client's meeting. That is where being late is often penalized. How many of you here are in the client service industry? Or to be precise, how many of you are into sales or were into sales? Okay, I see a few hands being raised. I see Vineet, I see Hriday, I see Adarsh, the other Adarsh in the room, not myself. Arijit has raised his hand, and then Kamini has given me a thumbs up. Yes, all of us at the end of the day deal with clients. We deal with clients because they are the end users, right? Now, the point is pretty simple. All right, when you are dealing with a client, there are certain things you're supposed to do right. And there are some things that are considered as deadly sins. It could be not honoring your word, that's deadly sin. And not listening carefully, there's something that you pay for waiting. In case if you are insincere, then that is something you're bound to pay for as well. And in case if you're a very pushy salesman, I'm not sure how many of you in this room are very, very pushy salesmen, but in case if you're a very pushy man or a woman, then that won't work well for you. Or in case if you like to missell, then that is not going to work for you either. But last but not the least, if you're late, that's right, if you're late to a client meeting, then you're bound to pay the price. In client service, to re-emphasize, it is a sin to be late. It is a sin. It's an absolute sin. It's a cardinal sin. But trust me, I have experienced that in my life. And that's why I'm talking about this. And trust me, that is not an understatement whatsoever. Sometimes some people think that being late is even worthy of a jail sentence. Well, that's exactly the situation that I was in last year at this point of time. Now, by the way, I'm pretty young, and just because I'm young doesn't mean I'm careless. I'm not reckless by any chance. But with that said, yes, as a human being, I can make mistakes. I can wake up late, or maybe I can be late for a meeting, maybe because I had a different meeting. Now, last year at this point of time, I got referred to a massive client by one of the professionals I coordinate with very closely, a chartered accountant perhaps, because as a wealth manager, I get a lot of my clients from the people I work with and from the people I meet in my everyday life. And when a professional like a chartered accountant, a big one in the city, refers you to one of his biggest clients, you cannot be late to the meeting. You just cannot be late to the meeting. You have to be that well within time. You have to have your backpack, you have to have your laptop inside, and you have to be there at least 10 minutes in advance. Or man, you're in trouble. And yes, I did the same exact thing. I followed that principle of not being late. I was there well within time that day to meet that client. And I swear to God, when I walked into his house, and I realized that this man was actually not an ordinary man. He was in the military in the past. And not just that, this man was actually working for a few major MNCs after that. And he was very, very strict. He was very, very strict. And I remember when I walked in, he was screaming at someone. That's right, he was screaming at someone for being late. And that man was actually the painter, by the way. He had come in 15 minutes late and he got penalized for that. And I was there standing, thinking to myself, if I was the painter, what if I was the painter myself? I would be in that position right now. But I looked at my watch instantly to see if I was late. And actually, I was late by 1 minute. And for a second, I was shivering deep down inside because I thought maybe he wouldn't like that. But I walked in and he didn't acknowledge that. And we actually had a very good discussion for a couple of hours. We had a very, very solid discussion for a couple of hours. But the man was very, very strict. He wanted me to be that well within time. And he sent me, he told me very clearly that his son was traveling back from the US and he'll be there in a few days of time. And I have to be back in his house within 11:30 in the morning. If I'm not there in his house by 11:30 in the morning, I will not get to talk to him after that. That is the exact statement that he actually made. And guess what? A week passed, and when I went back to his house, oh well, I didn't tell you what I did before that, did I? But let me be very clear on one thing. I woke up very late that day. I woke up very, very late that day because the previous day I had meetings till 11 o'clock at night. And I was just not able to wake up on time. I was so late. And then I had a meeting in the morning. I attended to that meeting at around 9 o'clock. And by the time I was done with that meeting, it was already 11:30 on my watch. And I had to travel to his house, which was at least 20 minutes from there. And guess what? When you're about to go to a very important meeting, obviously nothing is going to work that easy, is it? Because back in my office, the people in my office, my employees were sort of cramming me and they were bringing applications and all. And they were requesting me to sign them. And I swear to God, I couldn't take it anymore. And of course, I could not scream at them, right? I could not scream at them. But then I didn't have a choice but to throw all of that aside and run towards his house at the earliest. And when I reached that place, it was already 12:15 in the afternoon. It was 12:15 in the afternoon. And I saw that man right there screaming at another painter. That's right, he was screaming at another painter. And I forgot to note that he's also a secretary in his apartment. So he has the obligation of taking care of the entire apartment. And he's been doing that for the past decade. And I was there and I saw him screaming at another painter for coming 15 minutes late. And there I was, late by 45 minutes. And I didn't even inform him because my phone had switched off. And I was I was trying to be as cheeky as I possibly could because he was standing beside the elevator. So I tried to walk up the stairs. That is, I tried sneaking in to ensure he does not see me so that I could go stand outside of his house and pretend like I had come in before he did. And guess what? I was slowly sneaking up the stairs. I was going up and up. And then all of a sudden, he turned towards his right and he saw my face and he went, "Oh, Adarsh." And I got really, really scared. My entire body froze. And I thought to myself, what have I done? What have I done? I have been referred to this massive client and I've been such a fool to come in 45 minutes or 50 minutes late and I'm expecting to be treated well. And he was like, "Adarsh, come downstairs, as quickly as possible." And I slowly went downstairs and I faced him and I looked him dead in the eyes. And I said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of a meeting. I was not able to make it on time." And for a few seconds, I remember he was just frozen. He was just standing right in front of me. And he said, "Adarsh, it's totally fine. It's totally fine that you're late. It's totally okay that you're late because you are actually working. While on the other hand, this painter guy here does not do any work at all. He does not do any work at all. He's always late. He's been in this apartment for the last 10 years, and there's never been a time where he's been on time. While I've known you only for a couple of weeks." And for a second, I actually felt so much relief. I swear to God, I felt so happy, thinking to myself that, you know what? Okay, you know what? Being late is totally fine. And then we went upstairs, and then I sat in his apartment, and we were just grabbing a cup of tea, and we're sitting there. And his wife came out and said, "Adarsh, you're late." Of all the people in that house, I expected to be only judged by that man and not by his wife at any point of time. And his wife came out and said, "Adarsh, you're late and we have other commitments." His mood instantly changed and he said, "Adarsh, you're actually late. I have another meeting at 1 o'clock." That was pretty disappointing, wasn't it? And that was actually a very, very important lesson for me because that day I realized that I cannot be late. I just cannot be late whatsoever because, of course, there are a lot of clients out there that'll be very, very nice to you. They'll be nice enough to sit you down and tell you it's totally fine for you to be late. And there'll be clients where they'll actually be nice to you, but then soon they'll sort of come back to you and tell you, "Adarsh, I have other appointments. Please come back to me 1 week later." Now that is the difference in the world of business. And that is exactly what I happen to come across in all these years that I've been working here. The moral of the story is pretty simple. Please don't be late. Please don't be late because imagine if I was a doctor and I was late to that place. Well, I would personally be a doctor myself because a client would spare me. So please keep those things in mind and make sure to not be late. Over to you.
Before we start the next session, can everybody come on camera and we can have a picture because Kamini has some issues. So, yes.
Nazni, do you want me to take the picture?
Yes, you can do that, Adarsh.
Sure. Joseph, sir, can you please come on camera?
Joseph?
And we are waiting for Kamini as well as Akshita. We don't have them on camera. We don't see you at all.
Joseph, if you can come on camera, please. Yes. Smile.
We are only missing Kamini at this point of time. Kamini, in case of
Kamini,
coming on
can you
camera,
just-
do let us know.
Yeah, it's all for you.
Others click one and I will come in as I can. I'm really sorry. Please take one picture for now.
Okay, sure, not a problem. In that case, we'll just proceed. Akshita, we are just giving you a couple of seconds in case if you can come on camera, then you can. Okay, all right then. In that case, we'll proceed. In 3,
You should come.
yes, Nazni.
Sorry, I'm greedy. Sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry. I'll not be able to come on camera now. And
Others too, I'm sure you can come on camera.
Sure, not a problem at all. I think the others can probably attempt to come on camera. We'll give you a couple of seconds.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Yes. Pavitra, you can come on camera. Okay.
I was on camera. I hope you can see.
One more. Just once. Yeah. I think ours is perfect.
Just one more, just 1 minute. Yeah. We're done.
Yes, we can go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh, reiterating the importance of not being late. And no. For reiterating the importance for being on time and for declaring it as a cardinal offense when we do not respect time. That was indeed a lovely speech. Can we all unmute and give a big round of applause to our second speaker, Toastmaster Adarsh? Thank you. Okay, we are stepping into the second section of a Toastmaster meeting, and this is undoubtedly, hands down, one of the most interactive, interesting, and challenging session, which is the table topic session. But before we go there, let me just ask you, we've had some deep opening to the meeting where I spoke about project semicolon. Now let's move into the language per se, and any one of you, please feel free to unmute and answer if you know how many in total punctuations are used in English grammar. I'm looking for a number. How many number of punctuation mark are used in English grammar? Take a guess.
Maybe 40.
20.
Okay, Hruday sir, you were close. Who spoke after Hruday sir?
Pavitra here. I said 14.
Pavitra, what was your number?
14.
You're very close.
12.
20.
13
Okay,
and a half.
No, nothing like half.
16 how many seconds?
How many?
16 second guess.
16.
Bang on. 16. There are 16 punctuation mark in English grammar. Please, can we have your name once again? I'm so sorry, I'm not Pavitra. Let's give a big round of applause to Pavitra. There are 16 punctuation mark used in English grammar from. Okay, what's the another name for full stop?
Viram.
Aha. Wow. Okay. So what's the another name? This is an uncommon name, but it's the correct one.
Period.
Yes, period. Thank you, Milind sir. Thank you, Milind sir. So from period to question mark to exclamation to bracket, these are all types of punctuations. Now, getting into semicolon again. Any one of you, just by chance, do you know the origin of semicolon? Like which country did semicolon originate? Others.
Germany.
Germany. Okay, no. Others?
Started in
Is
States.
it Latin? I'm not sure if it is.
Okay,
That's-
others. A better word for Latin?
Started in
Better word for
United
Latin.
States, if I'm not wrong.
No, Nazni.
And
Not United
many of the
States.
celebrities also have semicolon as their.
France.
Rome.
Okay, Italy.
Or
Italy.
Yep.
So it had it, the origin of semicolon was in Italy when somebody used it for the first time. And it is 500-year old. So not much, but only 500-year old. On this note, I would like to bring in our table topic master. Our table topic master is Toastmaster Vineet Singh. Now, Toastmaster Vineet Singh has 20 and more years of experience in the information technology sector. He works as a practice head for Adobe. He's an international certified, he is ICF certified executive coach to many technology leaders. That is interesting. And as far as Toastmasters is concerned, he's been a Toastmaster for around 10 years. And he's worked on various XCOM roles, finished ACB and ALC. I'm looking forward to you hosting the table topics section. And it's over to you virtually, Toastmaster Vineet.
Thank you, Toastmasters Kamini. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, before I jump into the table topic, let me briefly describe my role. It's like a ringmaster. So since all of you are, for me, are loins who are sitting, so I'll kind of call audience members to come out with answer to the question, to the topic that I'll give you, and you'll have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. At 1 minute mark, you'll see the timer card starting with green. Last thing, I think, to take the anxiety out of this, you can speak on the same topic. If you want to change the topic for guests, I think it's all open. Idea is to come on the stage and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Semicolon, such a powerful topic. Even I was not aware of so many things that Toastmaster Kamini talked about. It reminded me of hope and resilience. And also it reminds me of dialogue from Bollywood movie, I think, Picture Abhi Baki Hai Mere Dost. So somewhere, if I see somewhere around full stop, I think that line will really help any of us. So I thought, let's have some topics around on the similar lines. And we can take, initially, we can ask who is interested to take up the topic to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Otherwise, anyway, I'll call out the names. So the first topic that I have for you guys is, it's on hope. How would you give your near one hope who has lost his job recently? The topic is, how would you give your near one hope who has lost his job recently? Any volunteers?
I can take.
I'm sorry, I can't see.
Sweet and
Vinu, is that you?
Hindavi has offered herself.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Handevi, because she was the speaker. Let's give opportunity to others. Anyone else?
Me, I would like to talk.
Yeah. Toastmaster Joseph, over to you. How would you give your near one hope who has lost his job recently?
Lost his job particularly. Okay. It is always possible that anything could happen anytime at any moment of time. Job losing is just a normal in everybody's life. But one has to have a preparation to absorb the shock, because losing a job is costing also economically weaker. As long as you earn money, then only you are able to sustain. A job loss is nothing but zero balance. So what one has to say is, failures are stepping stones to success. So your effort is required to go for number of times, try to all the areas where you are able to reach, and see that at any time one stone can strike. That is the motto. You should not get disappointed. You should not get disheartened. But at the same time, your efforts will lead you to success. Without efforts, you will never lead it to success. That is what I would tell my near relative or whoever they are, that go and do your maximum. Companies that you can visit, companies that you can interview, companies you look into your daily paper and all those things, or through some friends, you just try your best. Don't cry over the matter and sit at home. Effort is the important thing for success. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joseph. Effort is the key to success. Great lines. Moving on to the next topic. What simple gesture have you witnessed that renewed your hope in humanity? Again, topic on humanity. What simple gesture have you witnessed that renewed your hope in humanity? So I've told out the topic. So if you can raise your hand, who is interested to speak on this topic? Do we have some raise of hands? Okay, so time to call a name.
Others too can go. going for this topic. He's a guest.
Okay.
Pavitra has
Pavitra.
Okay, Pavitra has raised hand.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pavitra.
Thank you, table topic master. I must agree, when I heard the topic, the only reason why I paused was I was waiting for my brain and heart to actually flash that moment when I felt humanity is still out there. And I must say, this is a very pleasant surprise for me on what my brain flashed. So let me recollect. This is an incident which happened to me exactly 1 year back. I was around 8.5 months pregnant, very close to my delivery, and I had to travel to office due to an unavoidable conference which was happening. Otherwise, my office was kind enough to provide me work from home. While I was coming back from office to home, the roads were very bumpy, and I had an extreme nausea. And usually, I carry the vomit bags, the water, and everything with me without fail. It's all packed. All moms know to pack bags very well, by the way, on a light note. So, unfortunately, the cover I carried that day had a small hole, right, which I did not know. And by mistake, my entire dress was in a mess. I wouldn't give much details not to have the moment for all of you. I must say that I was extremely touched. We were going through a market area. There was a lady who was selling flowers. She saw my state. She came to me and she was very kind enough to actually wash my dress with her 1 liter of bottle. That was all she had with her. And this truly touched me. And when I asked her, when I offered her money, because there's nothing else I had, she refused the money and she told me, you know what? I also have a daughter. I was truly touched that such incidents can happen to people. I've only heard in movies. It happened to me, and I truly thanked her, blessed her, and reached home and repacked my bag. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do not lose hope. There are wonderful people out there, and wonderful things can happen to you if you also give back to the society. Over to the table topic master. Thank you.
That's a touching story, Pavitra. Thank you so much. And moving to the next topic, we had a recent success with Chandrayaan-3, and I see it prominently at the background of DTM Milin's frame. So let me ask some topics around that. I'm sure you might have heard that ISRO is preparing to its first astronaut mission wherein they want to send people on space called Gaganyaan. If ISRO asked you to volunteer for that, what preparations you will make? If ISRO asks you to volunteer to go as an astronaut into space, what kind of preparations you will make? Who is interested to talk about it? DTM Hide, I haven't heard you for a long time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinith. A very good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. In case I get an opportunity to be that person who can reach and land on the moon, definitely I should practice the small steps that all we Toastmasters practice, being it over table Toastmaster, to start delivering speeches. So being being that luckiest person to go to the moon, I should start my practice from today. And so the first thing that I will do, that I will go to the mountain, that the hilly region where I can feel that there is less oxygen, but I still able to control myself. That being a mountaineer, to reach up to that pinnacle of mountain, so that I can keep practicing, because that nausea tendency, that vomiting tendency I have whenever I go to any hill station. So that is one weakness that is there with me. So I would definitely want to conquer that by going every month to go there and practice myself that yes, I can sustain that less oxygen level and could able to maintain myself with my good health and able to view the beautiful moon that will be, I would be lucky to see that. So this is first thing. The second thing is that yes, to reach that pinnacle of success, you should first imagine yourself that you are there. Because to reach any pinnacle of success, we should imagine yourself there. Then you can reach it. Else, you will be a failure person. So definitely, I cannot be go to moon directly. But yes, if I can imagine in my thoughts through that meditation, through that belief that yes, I am one person getting opportunity by ISRO to be landed in the moon. That faith, that sincerity, that ability to practice myself that yes, I can do that, or the people would follow what I have done, it should be that. So the small things of practice, getting some physical training to go to the mountain area, and believe in yourself can make it possible one day that yes, I can be one of the luckiest person to go to the moon one day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, DTM Hriday. And I think that shows another example of full stop to semicolon. It was not possible, but still DTM Hriday was able to, bring in the resilience and so that we can actually go there. Thank you so much, Toastmaster DTM Hriday. I think we just have 10-12 minutes, so I'll take a pause. I did have some more topics, but back to you, Toastmaster Kamini.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vineet, for keeping your topics in sync with the meeting theme that we have today, semicolon. And thank you everyone for participating and speaking your heart out, sharing tidbits about your life. Thank you so much. Indeed, it was an interactive session. So before I bring in the general evaluator of the meeting, just a few facts for all of you to, get things in perspective. According to WHO, World Health Organization, more than 7 lakh people die due to suicide globally every year. 1 in every 8 people around the world suffers mental illness, depression and anxiety being the most common. So these are numbers which are on internet, and this tells us the grave side of being a human. But there's also a brighter side, and this is what semicolon represents as a spirit when we talk about human, because resilience is to bounce back, and life isn't easy for anyone. The least that we can do to a stranger or to someone that we know is to offer kindness, is to offer love, and to reduce as much as we can judgments, critical opinions, so on and so forth. So this is exactly what semicolon stands for. In difficult times, just hold on to your ground and believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you will get through this. These are some of the things that I wanted to bring out and put it in perspective, because especially today in the millennium era, we are the loneliest. And yes, it goes on record that never before have we experienced loneliness the way we are experiencing today. A dozen of things have come out, from ghosting to breadcrumbing to whatnot. So new vocabularies are coming, but it again gets us back onto the focal point that if we are human beings, let's act as one. Let's get into the spirit of being kind, being non-judgmental, and extending our love, sharing it as much as we can with those around us. We never know who needs it. So from on this note, I would like to bring in the general evaluator, Toastmaster Oryojit. Toastmaster Oryojit, I would request you to present your general evaluation report along with the evaluators and the TAG members. Thank you. It's on to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamini. And yes, I've been spotlighted. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Kamini, for conducting such a wonderful session with such a beautiful theme. And now I would request the speech evaluators to present their speech evaluation. The first evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Heindevi, would be Toastmaster Milind. So, Toastmaster Milind, would you like to share your report with us?
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator Ovijit. Yeah. So my target speaker, Heindevi, your project was about research and you did it to the T. The way you started, first thing you were confident, you were standing, that itself shows that you were ready, you were prepared with what you wanted to have it. And you had a master class on artificial intelligence and chat GPT, where you started with the definition, the code, and then you give examples of how visual artificial intelligence has virtual assistants which are there from various companies, Amazon, Google, etc. So not only you explained what was artificial intelligence, you also gave a live example. So we could easily connect even a layman like me, which shuns artificial intelligence. So for me also it was very connectivity was there. And you also then highlighted, then you moved to the chat GPT and how many ways there are. There are texture form, there's a virtual GPT, map is there. So, and how it can be used in different ways. That also you highlighted what are the benefits of that. And of course, you highlighted what are the challenges which artificial intelligence coming with job loss, etc. But then you also highlighted that there are ways where you can increase the job in a different area. And you concluded with the benefits what are there. And what I liked about you, the final sentence, you kept it open, asking the audience, what do you feel? Because each one will have a different take on that. So that's also a very important thing which a speaker can do. So he or she is putting the entire letter over there, and then you are telling, okay, you choose what you want. So that was a beautiful conclusion. It was an accomplished thing. So, and you are succeeded in completing the project. So kudos to you. Now, in case you want to enhance the speech to the next level with the confidence which you had and amount of examples which you gave, you could have maybe made a PPT or something, a display would have been the better way. So because what they say, when we see certain things, we can, when you talk about chat GPT, you can just show how it works, something on the background that could have added. So that could have been, connectivity would have been faster in case it was possible, or even in your virtual screen, you could have put it over there and you could have shown over there 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, it was a beautiful thing. Great job done. Kudos to you and all the best. I look forward for your next speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milind, for presenting your thoughts and evaluation of Toastmaster Handavi's speech. Toastmaster Handavi, I appreciate her. One thing I appreciate about her speech was the simplicity in the sentences. I should mark it in my grammarian support, but the simplicity in the sentences was incredibly brought up and presented. It helped, uh, and it helps speakers, especially, to connect very easily uh, with people who find it very difficult to understand a complex topic. So when you have a very difficult topic, but you present it in simple sentences and words, so Toastmaster Hendavi, you did a brilliant job over there. However, one suggestion from my end would be, like, if you use Vodafone, move on to Geo. If you have Geo, then you move on to Airtel or some better broadband service which can help you to ensure a good meeting. And the second thing is, like, while delivering a speech, also practice smiling during the course of the meeting. Means you have a little smile, because or else people will think that you are a little anxious or things like that. But that is not the case. The way you presented your your speech, it was very beautifully done. But a smile enhances a speech, in my opinion. And next, I will be moving to Toastmaster Ruday, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Adarsh's speech.
A very good evening, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster, and others in particular. Others, your comma in the speech title brought us a very well-constructed speech and a piece of humor that we are all looking forward to. But I would like to evaluate your speech with periods and semicolon. The periods definitely means the good things that I liked about your speech, where you have completely given us a sense of what is evaluated to look out for. So the first period that I was very impressed is your story. That was so much engaging. That was so much connecting with each and every one. Initially, when you started your speech, you involved anyone that having been working with a client or the salesperson. So that instantly connected with all of us with the starting of your speech, and the audience get hooked to whatever you said. The second period that I liked about your speech is that the overall the opening body and conclusion, because the opening was good. The speech that you have brought, that story that you have brought was really inclining, and it definitely connects with every one of us who become waiting 15 minutes late, or and how embarrassing the situation is. So very, very common situation that precisely brings everyone to that notion that yes, this humor can come out of you if you are late. And definitely, I would say that your opening body and you concluded with the moral of the story for everyone else to not be late. So I would say definitely it was well constructed speech. And the most importantly that I liked about you, my most period is that humor, that the humor that create out of that very simple scenario, very simple story that you have brought in. That was well presented, and definitely that piece of humor was there for me as a evaluator. But the most magical period that I liked about your speech is the voice, the tone, the speed, and the volume that you brought in. And I must say that your voice was working like a magic wand throughout your speech and giving us a sense of a proficient speaker that was speaking before us. But if I have to if I have to talk about the semicolons, I would say that the first semicolon is the restricted gesture. The gesture that was restricted because you are not standing and delivering. Because I could able to see your hand, your eye expressions, but the body gesture that while you are running up to or walking towards the printer, all getting restricted because we could not able to see you fully. So that is one semicolon. And the second semicolon definitely is a timing thing that you can definitely work on. This is a very simple story, but yes, this can be more constructive and bring brought to us in a very timely manner with 7.5 minutes, and that definitely can work out. So I would say that your content was good, your voice was a musical one, and you have a very much that piece of humor that brought in us. But the semicolon can definitely work out because a semicolon can replace a period and make a speaker with to narrow the gap and make him a better speaker next time. Over to you, General.
Thank you, thank you, Toastmaster Ruday, for presenting your report. Toastmaster Ruday, I appreciate you for being such a generous evaluator. You not only appreciated the good points, but very softly made points to correct certain deficiencies in the speaker's speech. And well, it was a delight to listen to Toastmaster Adarsh's speech. It was a very good speech. I especially love the conversational style of Adarsh's speech. As pointed out, it reflects his proficiency and his ability to connect with the audience. But the difficulties or the challenges of this conversational style of speech is that a person tends to not to respect the time allotted. So well, when he was telling about the model of the story, like please come on time, be on time, it was a little ironic because he had far exceeded the time, which will be presented in the timer's report. So, Toastmaster Vinu, could you present your report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Here is my report. So our first speaker, Haindavi, she took 7 minutes 21 seconds. And our second speaker, Adarsh, he took 10 minutes 4 seconds. And coming to our evaluators, our first evaluator, DTM Milin, he took 3 minutes 3 seconds for his evaluation. And our evaluator 2, Hruday, he took 3 minutes 36 seconds. And coming to our table topic speakers, Joseph, he took 1 minute 53 seconds. Pavitra, our table topic speaker to Pavitra, she took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Our third table topic speaker, Hruday, he took 2 minutes 15 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vineet, for presenting your report. Not Vinu, for presenting your report. It was brief and well done. Thank you again for your efforts. Now I would come to the second important person, which is the accounter, and I would request Toastmaster Chandra to please present his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjit. Hi, everyone. Here is my report. I started evaluation while GE started introducing the tag team, and this includes the evaluation from there. So during the process of this evaluation, the following things are considered: are, well, so, like, but, and any repetitive words. Toastmaster Arijit has used 30 O's, have a repetitive words and as repetition 4 times. Toastmaster Kamini has 39 R's, 1 so as a filler word. The is repeated, no is repeated as a filler word, and is dragged and is used as a filler word. Toastmaster Nazneen has 1 R. Toastmaster Haindavi has 12 R's, 1 so as a filler word. Who is repeated twice. The is repeated twice and is repeated twice. Toastmaster Adarsh has 6 R's. 1 is dragged as a filler word. All right is also used as a filler word. Coming to the table topics, Toastmaster Vinit Singh has 9 R's, 1 so. Toastmaster Joseph does not have any crutch words. One good thing like which I would like to highlight in the last, Toastmaster Pavitra has 1 O. Toastmaster Hruday Mohanty has 5 O's, 1 repetitive word. Toastmaster Milin has 3 O's. Toastmaster Hruday has 8 O's. The is used repeatedly thrice. That is used repeatedly thrice. Filler word and is used. Toastmaster Vinny Karthik has used 4 O's and 1 and as a filler word. Overall, in the meeting, many of them have used and the as repetitive words. And whenever the words are used, so this dragging is being noticed part of this meeting. And one good technique like which I noticed, like while Toastmaster Joseph was presenting, Toastmaster Joseph was talking very slowly, and that minimized the usage of the crutch words. This is one of the wonderful technique like all of us can adopt as Toastmasters. I think it will make us our speeches better. With this, I'd like to hand over my control to Toastmaster Arijit. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandra, for beautifully presenting your report and appreciating and also identifying manners in which we can reduce the use of filler and crutch words. Indeed, a very well done job. And also thank you for taking up this role at the very last second. As the grammarian for today's meeting, I have already appreciated Toastmaster Hendavi's efforts as a speaker. Next, I would be moving to Toastmaster, our speaker number 2, which is Toastmaster Adarsh. And he has some beautiful words. And the use of adjectives like deadly, pushy. So the terms were deadly sins, pushy salesman, cardinal sin, was very nicely done. Not an understatement, reckless. Then coming to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kamini, she used words like reiterate, bring out in perspectives, and then she introduced us to the other word which we use for full stops, which is period. Uh, but I got a little confused because when people tell period, they tend to do this inverted commas gesture. So that is one thing I got a little confused. But I checked it, so she's absolutely correct. Actually, Milinsa was absolutely correct. Then she used words like hosting, breadcrumbing, which was nicely done. Uh, Joseph, sir, he had some very good terms in his speech. Failures are stepping stone for success. Anytime any one stone can strike, zero balance. Toastmaster Pavitra, she had such certain beautiful words. I was actually amused by the word unavoidable confidence, and then thanked her, blessed her. Toastmaster Uday had sincerity given, and oh, one very beautiful thing was that when Toastmaster Vineet introduced the topic, and he very nicely took it as given an opportunity, if I am the person chosen to go to moon. So that was very nicely done. And areas to improve, there were two only which I would like to highlight. Is one by no, okay, I would not take the name. There was a certain usage of a term, a chartered accountant, perhaps. So I was like, you have to be certain whether he's a chartered accountant or not. So that use of perhaps puts in a doubt. And there was another term which did not fit in the course of the sentence, was causing economically weaker, like the loss of job causing economically weaker. So that was a little grammatically not well structured. Nonetheless, it was a great meeting. No one used the word of the day, which was bracket. Um, no, so you can tend to use the word of the day in forthcoming meetings. And now, as the general evaluator of today's meeting, I appreciate the effort taken by both the clubs to organize a meeting. And I do not have much to add, given that I understand the kind of challenges smaller clubs, especially online community clubs, face. But nonetheless, it is always good to see the highlight of both the clubs is the kind of friendliness, the friendly environment they have ensured for their members to learn and progress in their communication journey. I have been attending the meeting of both the clubs for close to 2, 3 years, and and I would like to thank COVID for the same. And it is an absolute pleasure to attend both the meetings. I am a big fan of uh, the members of speech weavers who are always immaculately dressed, like Toastmaster Milind, Toastmaster Joseph. We have also have Nazneen Madam and Adarsh Sir. So who dress very nicely and have a very positive environment. Similarly, I would appreciate the efforts given by Toastmaster Kamini to come with such a beautiful topic, and the speakers who spoke, including the uh, the table topics and the evaluators, they did it in a manner which was very easy to relate and helps people to boost more confidence. And with that, I would like to end the report. Hopefully, I have not missed anything or have failed to praise anyone. So, if I have done so, so please I would I would extend my apologies for the same. And on that note, I would hand it over to Toastmaster Kamini.
Thank you so much, Ajit. Just one announcement. The voting link has been posted on the chat. So kindly vote so that we can.
Just 1 minute, Nazneen, I'm putting it up.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Adarsh. Sorry for that comment.
No. Thank you, Madam President, Toastmaster Nazneen, for letting us know that we are supposed to vote now. This is the time for voting to appreciate all the role takers in the meeting. And thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Oryojit, for making everyone know what they did well and also letting them know where can they improve. I like the way you keenly observed every role taker today, and you always do that. So thank you so much. You obviously did make each one of us feel special about being in the meeting and doing our bit towards this wonderful meeting. So can we please unmute and hear it for our general evaluator? Loud, big noise, clap, emojis, whichever way you feel free to express, because he played dual roles today and he depicted semicolon in action in the meeting. So thank you. And also for our R counter, Toastmaster Chandra, once again, thank you so much. So we've come towards the closure, a few more minutes to go because people will be voting. In the meantime, when they're voting, I would like to mention that in Rising Speakers next week on Thursday at 7 p.m., which is our day and time for weekly meeting, we have a grammarian session. So if any one of you out here in the room think that you want to understand the grammarian role a little better, then you're most welcome to join our club meeting on Saturday, 7 p.m., which is next week. The presenter will be Balaji Ramaswamy. He's a communication coach. He's an English language and a communication skills trainer. He trains people in business English, and also he's closely associated with uplifting young learners. So this is something that is happening in Rising Speakers next week. We do look forward to your support, to your presence, because that encourages us. And now, if I may ask, how many of you are a fan of Selena Gomez? Others is smiling. Joseph, sir?
I'm a fan. Youngsters
Yes,
know.
I'm a fan of Selena Gomez. She's
So
also
now-
has a semicolon.
Yeah, exactly. Nazneen said it out for all of us. So we know that Selena has been in this journey of healing. She's been, she's been a person who openly talks about mental illness when it comes to depression and standing in support with all those people who go through this. This is exactly what depicts human spirit. And she's a celebrity who's got a semicolon tattooed on herself. If I may just quickly share her image, please allow me to do so. I just let me know if it is visible. Is it visible? Can anyone confirm? It's on her wrist. Can you all see this?
Yeah, it's visible.
Thank you, Adarsh. So she's got herself inked in semicolon. And towards the end, I think the only thing that I would like to close the semicolon theme with is semicolon by authors is used when they could have chosen to end their sentence, however, chose not to. The author is you, and the sentence is your life. You have the power to always give a new direction. You have the power to always restart. You have the power to say it's not over yet. Thank you so much on this note for your presence, for your time, and for your appreciation towards semicolon. It's not just Amy. Of course, it is Amy, a college student, Amy Bluell, who started this in America. But across globe, we all stand together when it comes to mental illness, when it comes to suicide, when it comes to self-injury, when it comes to depression, anxiety, and all such things. Let's just extend our support in whichever way we can. Thank you for being a part. It's over to you, Madam President Toastmaster Nazneen, to declare the results and to call off the meeting.
Thank you, each one of you, all the role takers and the guests who have come all across the nation. This is the power of semicolon, period. And now hand over the stage to Adarsh. The results are ready. Adarsh, can we have the results, please?
Yes, Shuri Toastmaster Naslin.
Yes.
Just give me a couple of minutes. Yeah, the best role taker in today's meeting was, without a doubt, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kamini Sharma. Round of applause to Toastmaster Kamini Sharma. Thank you very much for enlightening us. It's been quite some time. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. The best speaker in today's meeting was, without a shadow of a doubt, it was Toastmaster Haindavi. Round of applause to Toastmaster Haindavi for being our best speaker in today's meeting. The best evaluator in today's meeting was the evaluator for Toastmaster Haindavi's speech, DTM Milind Gladford. DTM Milind, thank you very much for your incredible evaluation. You were the best evaluator in today's meeting. And as for the best auxiliary role taker, it is actually split between two people, namely our grammarian Toastmaster Arijit and our counter Toastmaster Chandra. Round of applause to both Toastmaster Chandra as well as our grammarian Toastmaster Arijit for being the best auxiliary role taker or role takers in today's meeting. And as for the best table topic speaker, the best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Pavitra. Toastmaster Pavitra, round of applause for being our best table topic speaker in this amazing Linkers meeting. And on a scale of 0 to 5, a lot of people rated this meeting 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. So I think that's a compliment to all of us. So back to you, Madam President. Toastmaster.
The certificates will be posted to you personally as a token of appreciation. And I'm sure you all have enjoyed the meeting. Less the better, but still we have done it in style. That is right. And I would say, as Toastmaster Arijit said, open brackets, close brackets, we are the best. And we are the friendliest clubs in Division B. Over to you. And now I think I adjourn the meeting 7324.
You have to make announcement for next